done redirecting. Okay. I think you are live.
All right. I am Linda Deer, and this boy right here.
This boy over here has been the Vice President of Procurement and Administration lately, procuring all those supplies and food that we need.
That's true, Ray. Oh boy, isn't that the truth for everybody? And like always, we love being here with you guys on Tuesday. We hope you're getting Linda's weekly guided insights each Tuesday delivered to your email box. That's what these are about. That's the theme for tonight. And I'm going to explain what that is. But if you're not getting Linda's weekly guided insights, go to my website, and at the top, you're going to see where you can sign up for it. It says, what are Linda's weekly guided insights? All right. Okay, so let me get on the right page. Each week in Linda's weekly guided insights, I ask my spirit guides, what's the most important thing for you guys to know right now? We channel these insights using Ask the Universal Channel, the same way your spirit guides and angels interact with you in a personal coaching session with me. And you can find the links for Ask the Universal Channel and my coaching service in the description of the video. Tonight, the spirit guides will be talking about the immune system starts in your head. This was published today in Linda's Weekly Guided Insights. Using the search term Linda Deer, you can join us live anytime on Tuesdays on my Facebook page, my Facebook timeline, and my YouTube channel. Like always, Ray will be monitoring the Facebook feeds and the YouTube channel for your questions and comments. So feel free.
You're everywhere, hon.
Good.
You're on Facebook here, Facebook there, YouTube here,
you
Facebook
have,
over here.
Is it on YouTube?
It's on,
Okay,
sure.
it's on YouTube. You want
It's
that
on-
up there?
it's on YouTube.
Okay. See, Ray's got this thing going here, right? We stream to 3 locations now. So we really look forward to your questions and comments as we move through this tonight. In fact, we had 2 comments already on the post that we're going to cover tonight. Whenever you leave a comment on the post for that week's insight, the one we're on like tonight, we always bring it up first. You're going to be the first one that the guides speak to live right here on the set, all right? So let me know what's on your mind regarding tonight's insight. The immune system starts in your head. It's a balance that brings connection and clarity into your life, resulting in a healthy immune system. Everything that happens, everything you feel, and everything you think about affects your immune system one way or another. In a sense, you are your own victim when it comes to your immune system. What you think about affects your immune system. Who you hang out with affects your immune system, even your job. Think about how your health is right now. So, who is in control of what goes on in your head? It should be you and not some outside influence. To start, you must become conscious of your thinking, aware of what you're thinking, instead of just knee-jerk reaction after knee-jerk reaction, all right? To do that, you must start writing down what's going on in your head, instead of just letting it play out and play out and play out. You don't have to work on having positive thoughts. That's kidding yourself and missing the point. You just need to start writing down in your journal for 15 minutes a day so you can begin to see things for what they are without taking them personally or prejudging them, jumping to conclusions. This is what produces clear thinking that brings clarity and connection to everything you do. The byproduct is the strong immune system. So that's just a few excerpts out of today's insight. And Ray, we had some comments
We
today.
had two comments, one from Florida and one from the Netherlands.
Okay.
Okay. First one, Kathy in Florida, Kathy Cartagena said, I love this insight. Stuck energy, the thoughts that churn in your head like laundry in a washing machine are like stuck energy. That's right.
Yeah.
It causes dis-ease. It does indeed, all beginning with your thinking. Unfortunately, you can only control your own thoughts and not what someone else allows to churn around in their heads, and they could project that
And
at you.
affect you.
Right. So even though you may want to help them, they must want to help themselves.
And sometimes people don't even think they need help. All right.
Yeah, I know some people like that.
Yeah, they'll look at you and go, I don't need help.
I
Well,
think
you're not making their life miserable, but they're making your life miserable. So of course they can't see that they have any problem. All right. That's really a problem. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so Linda Deer answered Kathy. She said, your point is especially apparent now with families confined under one roof. It all comes to the surface, causing the troubling thoughts of any family member to disrupt the other ones. Until now, this was only an annoyance. The question is, under the pressure living with others 24/7, how do family members who have a constructive outlet for their idle time live with those who are tormented by it? Yeah, they've documented that since the lockdown, domestic abuse has gone up, violence
And the
has gone
phone
up.
calls for help have gone down.
Yeah, yeah.
And the reason for that is the abuser is home all day long. So the victims can't reach out for help or they'll get caught telling on them. Okay.
Bullies hate what? Being exposed.
They hate,
Yeah.
There's another insight that we did on bullies. Exposing the bullies doesn't make you one. Okay. But this has been a tough time for people who are feeling the stress. A lot of people are feeling stressed because of money. If you don't have money for food, that's going to be hard, especially now that you're all under one roof and you're trying to live humanely while this stress and pressure is all going on. Okay, Ray, so.
We have another one.
Okay.
Viola from the Netherlands. She may or may not be awake, but she'll have this answer.
You're going to hear this. And what we're going to do, you guys, we're going to, in fact, with Kathy, Ray, before we move on to Viola, the whole point with Kathy is, what do you do when you're living under the roof with another person who is not at peace with themselves and they're stressed out mentally? What do we have?
Oh, Linda Baca Goodwillie said, no wonder I'm stuck. I cannot forget the past and have problems moving on with my future with so very much abusiveness from her past and present.
And present.
Well,
okay, we're going to let them talk about that for a minute, the guides, about what the heck do you do when you're stuck with somebody under the same roof, family members or whatever, and you can't get away from them. And they're not easy to live with, and they don't care. They're not considerate of you. Okay, let's see what they have to say.
It's a situation where you need to be alone by yourself for a period of time to get away from all the noise going on in your head and their heads. Find a place to go outside on the patio, even go sit in your car, drive to the park, and breathe. Close your eyes. Envision being in a happy place away from the stress of the family. Spend at least 30 minutes away from all the others by yourself and rebalance your energy with breath and some exercise. Stretch, twist, jump. Do something that gets your blood moving and oxygen flowing. These little respites from the family stress will be your lifeline to sanity.
And writing in your journal when you're out and about and away from all this influence pouring down on you, that's not always good. It's unconscious. You realize how unconscious the people are in your family. It's just now that you're all under one roof 24/7, it's really amplified. You can really see it now. And quite frankly, it's offensive.
Before, everybody got away from each other. They went to work, they went to school, they went,
Yeah, now it's about, it's totally different. So yeah, and if you're around somebody who's abusive,
that's
you
worse.
you must get away from it. You must treat yourself to go take a walk the dog, get a dog,
Get a big dog.
so you have something excuse to get out of the house. Got to walk the dog, got to walk that dog again, and get the heck out of there. Find a reason that suits the, I hate to call it, the abuser or the person who's just just unconscious, and they're just making everybody's life hell, and they're unaware of it, and they don't even care. They don't see that there's any problem. They're the same person they've always been. It's just they're with you now all the time. Okay.
Okay. We have another comment from Viola. Does having a job that is not satisfactory, which is a lot of them,
Yeah.
and fulfilling, it's not satisfactory and fulfilling, affect your immune system? Does that affect your immune system? Why are we stuck in these kind of jobs? I feel that I'm pushed in a direction that I do not like in my work, and it is not the first time this has happened to me. I've always easily adapted to new jobs, but now I feel I cannot do it anymore. My whole system is protesting against the push that others try to force on me.
Wow.
It makes me feel low mentally, my stomach hurts, and I have trouble sleeping and relaxing. Why do these situations repeat themselves? I thought I learned from the past, but obviously I haven't learned enough. I'm curious about what the guides and you have to say about it.
Okay, and the guides are going to talk to her, but I'm going to say this. Let me grab this. Let me look at this. Okay. To me, this just jumped right out. My whole system is protesting against the push that others try to force on me. Viola has been with me now for about a couple years. She's been following me. She comes to these. I mean, she's in the Netherlands right now. It's about 3:00 in the morning, but when she can, and she always watches it in the replay. Hi, Viola. And just to see what the guide said, to see what I said about this whole thing. This thing with Viola is finally getting the better end of her. Finally. She did this for years. She put up with this. Okay. But now, for some reason, I'm going to use her words. For some reason, her whole system, these are her words, her whole system is protesting against the push that others try to force on her. It makes me feel low mentally, and her stomach actually hurts her now. Okay, so I've got good news and bad news for all of you. For the unconscious people that you're around, that would be unconscious people that she goes to work and has to be around, all right? For the unconscious people that you've allowed and tolerated having them in your life, it's showtime. If you've been working on yourself becoming more conscious, you've been writing in your journal for 15 minutes a day, waking up to what's really going on, seeing things for what they are, not taking them personally anymore, but acknowledging what's going on, waking up. That's what's going on really with Viola. Viola's come a long way in the short time that I've known her. Now, if you try to be around people who are unconscious, people who are not considerate, people who are rude, and people who you do not really are not a fit with, okay, that don't suit you, that don't complement you, it's going to become even more obvious in your body, in your body, in your head, that this is really disrupting you now. The more conscious that you become, Viola is the perfect example of this. The more conscious she has become, the harder it is to tolerate and be around these type of people. The harder it is to compromise. Compromise. That's really what Viola's done. She was pretty good at compromise until she met me. All right. And she read Guided, and big wake up call. And then she started showing up for these and asking questions, and she got the journal, and she's been working on herself. And these are, I always talk about the consequences associated with waking up and being conscious. Your tolerance for being around this kind of person is greatly reduced. However, your immune system is way healthier. You can't have it both ways, you guys. If you're with the wrong people and you want your immune system to improve, you cannot have it both ways. Something has to give. Something is giving with Viola. Viola won't be able to put up with this job she's in that takes her down that road of compromise that affects her immune system. Let's let the guides talk to you, Viola, about this.
Hello, Viola. We come in truth and love. It's a fact that you feel no love with this job. You don't have a connection to it like you've had to others in the past. Love comes from the heart. And this job is hurting your heart. When the stress of the job begins to impact the heart chakra, it leads to heart disease and other cardiovascular issues. It's your immune system shutting down because of the stress of the job. The fact that your stomach hurts is also related directly to the stress of the job. Stress causes your digestive system to become inhibited. If you allow it to continue as the stress increases, more adrenaline is released into your system in response to fight or flight situations. And this one's a situation you feel you can't get out of. When more adrenaline is pumped into your system, your heart rate speeds up and your stomach has more digestive issues. This If this continues, it would lead to gastric ulcers.
No job is worth it. Viola, I just want to say that you've come a long way and you are awake, okay? And a consequence of that is you can't put up with this anymore. Your world has changed, so your outer world has to change. You can't have it both ways. You've got to find another situation, another position that really honors who you are, okay? You may not make as much money at it in the beginning. You may make more. You have to get out of that job, all right? That job is not good for you. That job is hurting you, all right? That job's making you sick.
Right.
That job's taking down your immune system. When we do, we've got a webinar coming up on May 30th. That's not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, May 30th at 1 p.m. Pacific time. And it's going to be, and I'm looking at it right there, a message from the light beings, the state of the world as we see it. They're going to be talking about this. They're going to be talking about how they're going to incorporate this, where your immune system, where what is it? How do you protect yourself from all this virus and what's really going on with all this and what's really happening? They're going to get into it just like I get into it with you guys. The guides are going to be talking to you throughout that entire session about what's going on in this world right now and the shifts that you need to make, especially the people who are awake. You guys can't do that anymore to yourself. You used to be able to put up with it because you were just kind of awake, okay, a little bit awake. Now you're really awake, and you know what? You're healthier in your head than you've ever been. And so when something like that happens, it's so much harder on you. You can't do it.
Well, I did a little research study on this immune system.
Okay, Ray.
You know,
Ray does that. I like Ray's approach to this is always like left brain. Okay, wow, what's all that? Always left brain. But mine is about going after it from a spiritual standpoint. What's really happening? The spiritual meaning of what's going on, and how when you get things like when you get healthy. Somebody said to me one time, here's an example of this. Somebody said to me once, they go, you know, Linda, this happened years ago. They said, I'm doing really well. I'm on my spiritual path. I'm getting this. It fits. It feels right. I got this thing. But now all the people around me, you know, all of a sudden, they're a real problem in my life. I don't like my job anymore. I don't like my husband or my wife anymore. My kids are a pain in the neck. I mean, they're really obnoxious. Everybody, what's going on? You know, like, why didn't everybody learn this too and come along with me or whatever they assumed was going to happen? It doesn't work like that. Just because you woke up, just because you became conscious and you're now alive and awake and your immune system is really getting better, all right? You naturally eat better foods. You naturally exercise. You naturally sleep better. It's a byproduct of your everyday life, of being awake and aware, all right? That really sheds light on these people that you've had in your life that are clueless and they're nothing but a rock on your back. You need to reshuffle your deck. You need new people in your life, whether it's your job, your mate, your kids need to get their act together. I mean, you can't, shuffle off your kids. I get, it doesn't work like that. But you just really need to straighten this out in your life, because once you start doing this, you might become the biggest pain in the neck they've ever met. Why don't you go back to who you were? We liked you better the other way, the way that you were when you weren't happy, when you were sick all the time, when you put up with our stuff. You hear me, you guys? That's not right. All right.
Okay. So we hear on the news every day about, you need to do something to build up your immune system. And if you have
external things.
Yeah. And if you have a weakened immune system, what is that? People don't even know what their immune system is.
Okay.
Okay. So, and now we're saying it starts in your head. Your immune system starts in your head.
Right.
Okay. All right.
No, the guides are saying
the long and short of it is, Your immune system is a collection of billions of cells that travel through your bloodstream.
Mhm.
It's a process. They move in and out of your organs and your tissues, and they defend the body against foreign bodies, antigens, like bacteria and viruses and cancer. And they attack those cells and wipe them out
To keep you healthy.
to keep you balanced, to put your immune system back in balance.
Because you're not doing anything in your day-to-day life to prevent that, to your stomach problems, headaches. Once your immune system is clogged up and congested,
Right.
then it's really hard for what Ray just described for that to work that well.
That's right. Okay, so while it's doing all this, if you have a weakened immune system, they'll fight off the good things that are happening in your immune system, like the B cells and the T cells.
They're working properly.
Your white blood cells and your T cells.
You're
are
not
attacking
getting
those things.
sick.
All right.
Right.
So if those get depleted, you're in trouble. And what depletes them is stress, illness, being around the wrong people. But what happens is when the guide said it starts in your head,
Yeah.
people make mindful decisions when they're under this stress. They make a mindful or a conscious decision, but they decide to do the wrong things. For instance, let's say they're in a lot of stress, they're unhealthy, they have unhealthy behaviors, they're tired of their job, they're tired of the but how they fight that is they go out and to reduce their stress, they overindulge in drinking, smoking, eating junk food, because that makes them feel better.
Instantly.
Right. It doesn't
immediate.
Yeah.
It's immediate gratification.
But it doesn't help at all to rebuild your immune system.
It's not a commitment to yourself, is really what it is. It's just something to pass the time, to tolerate it, to make you feel better right now.
Yeah, there's good things you can do when you're under stress like that. You could take a walk in the park, you can exercise, you can go to a movie, you can go out with friends, and you can go to a sporting event. All the things you can't do now when you're under lockdown.
You can write.
You can write.
You could read a book.
Right.
To understand yourself better.
So the guide said in the summary that your immune system works well until the poor thinking takes over. So you make a bad conscious decision about how you are addressing this type of stress or that type of stress.
Like what you described.
Yeah. So you really are in control of your immune system in your head.
It's just that your knee-jerk reaction to dealing with stress, really stress, is to react instead of take a look at what's bothering you. Write it down. Part 3. Write down what is stressing you out. And then you can answer how it makes you feel. That's the second question. When you know how that makes you feel, what's stressing you out and how that makes you feel, you're going to realize something. Write that down in the third question. And only then can you see the solution to your problem. That there is an answer to this. There's a way out. Okay? Not really a way out. There's a way through it. None of us get out of this. Okay? We have to work through it. It's our lessons and stuff. All right, go ahead, Ray.
All right. So, and there's other things that happen too. As you get more and more under stress, your blood pressure goes up. That affects your heart. Yes, it's going to happen every once in a while. It's a natural response where adrenaline is released, your blood pressure goes up. But if you have chronic hypertension for over a long period of time, or chronic, stomach problems over a long period of time, that's a big sign that you're making a wrong decision.
And the longer you made these kind of decisions, the longer it's going to take for you to reverse the direction you are on, the course correction that you need to make. It's going to take a little longer. So what does that mean? How do you do that? You slow your life down. At any cost, you slow your life down. You start writing. I can't tell you how important that is. I made it through a horrendous childhood from journaling from the time I was 7 years old. I know how this works. It saved me. It made the connection I have to my spirit guides so strong. My awareness was heightened, and my reasoning sharp, because I wasn't taking things personally. I looked at what was going on out there, not in here, not like, oh, I'm a victim. They said that to me. It hurt my feelings. None of that. I didn't take it on. I couldn't take it on. I couldn't take it on. I knew that stuff wasn't mine. When somebody does that, Viola, in your job, and they make it miserable for you, that those people are not going to change. So there's no sense in sticking with something like that. It's not going to ever work for you.
And to kind of bring it into the current day, some of the articles I read said the three main things that suppress your immune system are stress, loneliness, and depression. And they have a word for it. So when your immune system gets compromised, they say you're coming down with something. What's coming down is your immune system.
What's happening is you're being taken down.
Right. And
then you get sick. You're being taken down, and your immune system, it's like wide open to everything that's, toxic. It doesn't have a way to protect you, because you allowed all this to take you down.
And one feeds the other one. The chronic feelings of being alone, loneliness, increases the psychological stress.
It does.
The psychological stress leads to depression.
It builds.
The depression leads to, it hurts your heart, and it causes people to withdraw and become hermits.
It perpetuates itself.
Right. So the loneliness and the isolation stops the production of the T cells, the things that we said are in your immune system that are the good things that kill the viruses and the bacteria. So if you have this chronic problem over a long period of time, weeks of being isolated, months of being isolated, you've suppressed your immune system and you slow down the production of T cells. So that alone ravages your immune system, and the isolation also ravages your immune system. And look what happened in the world. There's an interesting study.
So summarize what your thought was.
Well,
that's what happened in the world. Summarize that thought.
Well,
you left us all hanging.
Okay, there's a virus that came out that took off around the world, and the response to the virus was, "Oh, it's very contagious, so you better stay away from everybody. So let's go. Everybody has to stay home. Nobody's on the streets. Nobody's going to work. Nobody's going anywhere. They're all isolated. They're all scared." And then now that everybody's you can go back out. Some are going back to work. Some don't want to go back to work. But now it's trying to get back to normal. But everybody has to walk around with a mask on. The whole idea of what a concept of herd immunization, herd immunity, is that 60% or so of any herd of animals, including people, will self-immunize just by mingling.
Yeah, but there also is the fact that there was something, and still is something, that's really out there. Okay, it's really, now to the degree that it's out there, and how much can you believe that you're being told, that and where did it come from, and all this kind of stuff, that's a whole different story. This is about how you handle it.
Right.
This has nothing to do with all that other stuff. In fact, they're going to get into some of that stuff in our webinar, May 30th. Don't miss that webinar. Sign up for it. The link to join that webinar, to sign up for it, it's $29. It's a 1-hour webinar, and the guides are going to speak to you about it. And the only reason they're going to tell you the things they're going to tell you in this webinar that are really clandestine, I mean, really, this isn't the kind of thing that we would talk about openly on a platform like this. We wouldn't consider it, because we don't even know what the guides are going to tell you. All right. We haven't even heard it yet. Okay. So
we'll hear it same time you do.
The same time you do. So they're going to open your eyes and our eyes about all this. And as they are talking to you about what they see, they call it the state of the world as we see it. That's what they're going to be talking to you about. They are going to be talking to you, the spirit, the light beings, when they're talking to you. And I'm going to be asking them questions about what they're saying. What do you mean by this? How much time do we have for that? When's that going to happen? I'm going to ask those questions around. It's going to be a conversation we have with these light beings, like I always have. Okay. have had since I was 20 months old. This is the same thing, except you are invited. All right, go ahead, Ray.
A good example of a study that they did was in college students coming up to final exams week. Okay, big stress. Final exams week, right before we get to go home for the holidays. Okay, and they're all overstressed over getting a good grade. Their lack of sleep, because they're studying all night, trying to cram for exams. They're not sleeping. That lowers your immune system. Lack of sleep.
It does.
Increase of intake of caffeine lowers your immune system. So they're doing three things. They have all this stress, no sleep, increasing their caffeine.
The only thing holding them together is their youth.
Right. And then all of a sudden, the exam week's over, they go home to visit the parents, family for the holidays.
Get sick.
And they're sick.
Right. It makes sense why they're sick.
Right. Their immune
We
system's
haven't
wiped
learned to
out.
balance our lives. And another thing we haven't learned to do real well is to honor ourselves and not tolerate things that do make us sick. People, places, and things. Having too much stuff, chasing the wrong stuff, okay? I mean, if we just lighten up on ourselves and learn how to live lightly in this world and aware and awake and conscious and present, you guys, that's the key right there. If you have all that going for you, the good news is that you will know what to do and when to do it. The bad news is that you can no longer tolerate what you used to. Okay? You can't. You're going to have to you're going to have to clean up your life. And there's going to be some people in it. I guarantee you there's going to be people in it that need to go, okay? And there's going to be stuff in your life you need to shed because it's strangling you. Paying that car payment, that new house payment, that all that new furniture and all this new stuff. No. And God, if I lose my job, the job I hate, to support all that. This is what's changing, you guys. You guys can't get away with this anymore. But the good news is that you get your life back for the first time in your life. This is what Viola was talking about. Viola is going, what's going on here? Well, what's really going on here is she's grown past the fear that kept her in that situation. And now she's going, what's wrong with this? It's even worse than I remember it. Right. Because now you're awake and alive and well, okay? And this is in direct contrast to that. Who do we have with us tonight, Ray?
Well, we have a lot of new people on Facebook. We got, well, that's Kenzie. He's not new. Hi, Kenzie. Mimi Baker. Hi, Mimi. Maria. Mary Elizabeth joined us. Diana.
Mary Elizabeth.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about you, Mary Elizabeth.
That's right. We were talking about you today.
We were talking about you.
Your ears are probably burning.
You feel it.
Deborah, John Height, Rebecca Gann, Arnold Leibovitz. A lot of new people,
You
too.
guys. Okay. So, all right. So,
But I have some good news.
okay, Ray.
Okay, so you're stuck in this isolation at home and you're beating your immune system to death, you know, and you can't understand why you don't feel good and you're not getting enough sleep. Here's how you fix it.
Yes.
You don't think I can come to the table without a solution? This is going to be fun.
Okay, good. Ray.
Okay, it's called thymus tapping. Your thymus gland. Okay, your thymus gland issues the connection between your head and your body, and it also is the connection for the supply of productive T cells. All right, so you have a thymus gland grows from when you're a baby until you're like up into your young adulthood, and then as you get older, it shrinks. And some people in their 70s or 80s, it's like a little piece of fat now. But it's right here. It's right behind your breastbone, right in the center. Right. It's like when Tarzan beat on his chest and screamed, that he was beating on his thymus gland. Okay, so it's the link between the mind and the body, and it helps. This exercise helps produce extra T cells, and they've proven this with AIDS patients. Okay, 30 seconds minimum. You tap with the ends of your fingers like this.
Like Ray's going like this.
Yeah, like the little bird.
Like this.
Yeah.
And then you go like this.
And you tap half. Okay, you keep tapping 30 seconds. Tap with the end of your fingers. Smile, and breathe deeply. Keep going. You do this as often as you need to during the day, and what you'll find out, you say, "Wow, this isn't doing anything," but if it is, you'll feel a tingling when you stop, and you'll have a little feeling of joy or happiness. I do this a lot. You don't see me do this, but sometimes I do this every morning.
I feel lightness.
There you go. There you go. You do. You feel a little lightness. You feel it's just makes you feel good, especially the deep breathing. If you do this when you're deep breathing, and you close your eyes and you stop
and you go into it.
Right. That's it. Thymus tapping.
Now this is a good thing for a remedy, for a momentary thing, right? Where you need to collect yourself. You need to get a grip on yourself. All right. This is good to do. If you're around people who bah humbug it, then go do it in the bathroom. All right. If they hear you breathing and ask, what's going on in there, then go take a walk and get away from all that.
Yeah, you can do it when you're walking in the woods.
This is a journey to get your life back, you guys. Every one of these insights is designed to get your life back, piece by piece, putting it back together again. Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Humpty Dumpty, and how does it go?
All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again.
Yeah, and you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to put yourself, the old self, back together again to put up with more of this and tolerate more of this and live a compromised life. That leads to a life of regret. You guys know what that regret thing feels like, all right? Whatever it takes to get you where you're going, build up your strength by writing in your journal for 15 minutes a day. In this insight, I brought that up at the end, in the how it works part, at the very end. Make sure you use this every day, you guys. This is going to wake you back up again. You came in awake. You really did. Okay, but then you got your amnesia, and the people in this world started to dominate your mind, literally, and the way you act and the way you are, and you really never got to know who you are. This will bring you back to consciousness. In fact, it says on the journal writing part 3, it says your roadmap to consciousness. Waking up to stay awake, okay? So that you can see what's going on. When you can see what's going on, you can deal with it. Maybe not the moment you notice it. Maybe you'll have to write in the journal for a month or even a year. I don't know how long it's going to take you. But as you wake up and you get to know yourself better and better, and you're more and more comfortable with you, okay? And you're stronger of this, all right? And your immune system's working a lot better. And you see right through the stuff. It's like bam, bam, bam. I see through it. I'm not saying anything. I'm acknowledging it. I'm building my strength. I'm figuring it out, how I'm going to go beyond the moment I'm in, beyond the situation I found myself in, the job that's not good for me. I'm going to figure out how to move beyond that. When I get home from work at night, I'm going to work on finding a better opportunity for me somewhere else.
Find one of those jobs you can do from home.
Whatever. Not everybody wants to work in that rate. They feel isolated. All right. That doesn't work for all of you. All right. So you just need to figure out what honors you now that you know who that is. You've been walking around not even knowing who you are. How the heck could you make good choices? You're not present. If you don't know who you are, you can't be present. If you can't be present, you're not connected. If you're not connected, you don't have the guidance you need to make the best decisions possible. It all ties together. It's a balancing act. All right. And when you start feeling better, you guys, you will have learned so much and come so far. You will absolutely never let that into your life again.
Okay. We have some announcements yet?
We do, right?
We have a pretty large from Linda Baca here. It's a large thing we should not address in front of her, but should be addressed privately. You'll get back to her on this, okay?
Oh, okay. So is it on Facebook?
It's on right here on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. Okay. I'll talk to you about, I'm not seeing it right now, Linda,
It's a
because
lot.
I'm talking out loud to everybody. But I'll get back to you on that. Okay. I will answer your yeah, I'll answer it after we close tonight. After it and um YouTube takes a little while to render. So I may not see the whole thing.
So tomorrow.
Well, can you maybe okay, grab it?
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah.
can you take the mouse and highlight it and copy it? Because I won't see it until, I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but they're taking a while to render and I can't see this stuff for like a day. Okay. So Ray's going to copy it so I can actually talk to you about it before then. All right. Okay. And okay. So what we do, this thing about the immune system, this is easier than you think it is. The only thing that's going to make it hard is actually acknowledging what's compromising your immune system. Viola is a warrior. She came right out and said it. I hate my job. Okay. Well, there it is. I mean, she didn't make that hard to find or discover or dig through to find. Okay. You guys just need to get honest with yourself and tell the truth. Start telling yourself the truth, and you won't have such a compromised immune system. And before you know it, you're going to have a stellar immune system because you will have made the course corrections to get your life completely back so that you can be who you are all the time. Okay, that's the key right there. Anybody who tries to squelch that, they need to go. There's nothing wrong here. There's nothing wrong with you. They're the problem. And then you have to face that problem. And that's kind of inconvenient, but it's really not. Over the long run, I could tell you guys some stories. Oh my God. Every single time my guides guided me to get out of a situation, to get out of a business, to get away from a marriage partner I was with, they were right on every time. The time it took me to actually perform on it was a whole different thing. But when I did, every single time I got out of one of those, I crashed. I got sick for like 6 months. My immune system was shocked by the fact that it all stopped at once. When I got that person out of my life, I literally got sick. And then I got way better. Okay. Sometimes that'll happen. Depends on how far you took it. All right. Okay, so I've got a few announcements before the guides close our session tonight about the immune system starts in your head. All right. May 26th, that's next Tuesday, I will be streaming live on my Facebook page, my Facebook timeline, and my YouTube channel. Use the search term Linda Deer. This will be a Q&A and commentary for next Tuesday night, published in Linda's Weekly Guided Insights with me, Ray, and my spirit guides at 6 p.m. Pacific time, so don't miss it. In Linda's Weekly Guided Insights, my spirit guides will be talking about how to detect the lies in your life, okay, including your lies that you tell yourself, all right? You live in a world of lies and deceit. No wonder it feels so normal. You expect that someone you love or trust would always tell you the truth. You are hurt when you discover they lied to you. So if people that you love and respect will even lie to you, how do you learn to detect the lies from the truth when your heart is on the line? Don't miss that one, okay? So to start getting Linda's Weekly Guided Insights delivered to your email box every Tuesday, it's free. You can find the link in the description of this video. And our upcoming webinar, 2 Saturdays from now, that's going to be May 30th at 1 p.m. Pacific time. The name of the webinar is A Message from the Light Beings, the State of the World as We See It. That's the light beings talking, with Linda Deer, Ray Holly, and the guides. Last month's webinar sold out. In this webinar, my light beings will be telling you what you need to know right now to get through the rest of this year without worry. Okay? You don't need to be wondering or guessing or lost or scared or confused or feel desperate or any of that. Sign up for the webinar and let's get down on this thing. These guys are going to be talking to you about how to do this, what you need to know, and it's going to take the fright out of it. Okay. All right. A note here. Okay, Ray. So we're going to do the closing message from the guides. You can find the link for the webinar in the video, like the other ones, all right? And before we do the closing message, if my work has changed your life for the better, tell your friends about what we do. Tell them about my books. The website is loaded with great information. These insights that we do, Linda's Weekly Guided Insights on Tuesday nights. Join us on Tuesday nights. And on Saturdays, I read from Guided. This coming Saturday at 1 o'clock, I'm going to be reading chapter 7. Chapter 7. See how fast this goes, Ray? Chapter 7 of Guided, a tsunami of change. This is when I'm about 12 years old, right in there. My childhood was horrendous, was harrowing, okay? And I'm getting near the end of it. And it's really building up, okay? So I do some things that some people would say are real courageous. I had no choice, all right? Okay, so the guides are going to close the session tonight about the immune system starts in your head. And here they go.
To wrap up this information about your immune system and your head, we can say that your immune system will work just fine until you allow poor decision making to take over. Everything that happens that goes downhill from there started in your head. Once you realize what those things are and what they are doing to your immune system and correct them, can you expect your system to regain balance? The things you are striving for are health, connections, and clarity.
Real connections.
It's your intuition, your gut instincts that will tell you if you are on the right or wrong path. You must start writing down what's going on in your mind. Only then can you see that you have options in the way to handle them.
Right.
Once you see that writing showing up, you can study the problem from afar. If you're stressed out, what choices do you have to stop the stress? That will be very important as you move forward. Stopping the stress is the goal to rebalancing your system.
That's the same thing as pressure.
Right.
Pressure you put on yourself.
Make better decisions in order to have a better immune system. Drink clean, pure water and lots of it. Eat organic fruits and vegetables and as much organic food as you can. Exercise, especially outdoors. Go to the park, to the forest, to the beach, and breathe in the air. Walk in the sand barefoot. Meditate alone each day and schedule your alone time when it's convenient and you're not around others. Doing these few simple things will keep you from doing the wrong things and increasing the stress. You will find not only will your immune system be stronger, but you will like you much more.
I totally agree with that. Yeah, that just goes to say, that just goes along with how it all really plays out. I mean, what's the whole point in this, right?
Okay, I put the link to the
Oh,
thymus thump. It's called. I put in the feed.
okay, good. Ray put that in the feed for you guys to see it. All right, good.
Great.
All right, and we will see you maybe this Saturday. We will see you next Tuesday and the following Saturday for the webinar. Don't
That's
miss
going to
it.
be a great one.
Yeah, go to my website, lindadeer.com. Go down to where the live events are. You're going to see the video trailer there. It's just a few minutes that describes it where you can sign up.
All right.
All right.
We'll see you soon.
Good night.
Be kind.